Have you ever seen the phrasal verb call off? I think we talked about that before for some reason. Have you seen that before? Call off? Pachu, Mohammed, have either of you seen that one before?
Yes.
A call off for the applications.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Call off for applying to the job or call off for like announcement.
Uh,
It's like announcement.
Give me a sentence. How would you use that in a sentence? Call off in the way that you're thinking.
It's
Give me.
time for the call off to the application to the university.
I've never. Do you work with computers? Is that your job to work with computers?
No.
Okay, because I was thinking, I don't know. I've never heard it used in that way, so I'm not sure about that. But the call off most of the time would mean to cancel. Cancel. Pachu, have you seen that before? Call off meaning cancel.
Yes, I use it
You use all these
sometimes.
phrasal verbs. Give me an example of
Yes.
when you've used call off.
So this is also an expression like call of the day, or this is means also the postpone.
Put no,
Yeah,
no, no,
means
no, no, no. It doesn't mean
cancel.
postpone. Put off means postpone. Let's put that here. Okay, I'm going to put another phrasal verb here.
Okay.
Put off. That means postpone. But call off means cancel. That just means cancel. Okay, is that pretty clear?
Is yes, and is the same as call of the day or different?
Call off the day. Do you mean like cancel the day?
Yeah, means this is the yeah last time last suppose my call of day is 5 o'clock or
Oh, like the time
three
you mean
o'clock.
like the time you leave work?
Yeah,
No, I've never heard anything like that. Uh,
but
oh, go ahead.
I heard from a native speaker. No, she's from
Oh,
Australia,
oh, 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 oh.
and
You know,
she
I think I
is
know what you mean now. Okay. I think what you're thinking of is an expression. Call it a day.
yeah, yeah, expression.
Okay.
Yes.
That means let's
So,
finish. Let's finish for now. That's what it means. So when you say usually
so
you would
you
say
just finish.
let's. It's really just a whole expression with let's. Let's call it a day. And that means let's stop for today. Let's finish for today. That's enough for today. Okay. So
We
that's
also had a phrasal verb in the story today.
mhm. Call off. Did
Yes.
did we
It's
have
uh, it's a buckle off, buckle off,
buckle off?
buckle, buckle off. Yes, is to be ready for a dangerous situation.
Can you spell it? How did can you type that into the Discord? Because I'm not sure. I don't remember anything like
I
that.
will.
Can you type it? Buckle off? I've never seen that. And you said that was in the story today? I don't remember that. Let's see. I've never heard that before. Buckle off. I'm asking ChatGPT because I've never seen that before. Not commonly recognized as standard English. No, maybe you've confused it with something else because
Buckle up.
oh,
Sorry.
oh, buckle up. Did they say that? But
Yes.
well, okay. The reason that buckle up, okay, you're right. You could use buckle up in that way, but the reason that you would say that, So buckle up means like connect your seatbelt. Okay. So you would say that like imagine you're driving a car and you want to go really, really fast with your car. So you tell your friends, "Uh-oh, you better buckle up because we're going fast now." So it's like prepare yourself, get in a safe position because we're going to do something crazy now, right? Does that make sense? That's
Yes,
So
your seatbelt.
yes, I see it also in buckle up for the meeting today.
Oh, really? So that
Yes.
would be like a scary meeting, right? Or something bad is going to happen in the meeting.
no,
Why do you say no, Pachu? That's how I would understand it. If you said buckle up for the meeting, that sounds like it's going to be a very scary meeting. Something bad is going to happen.
but sir, yeah, I think buckle up is also the kickoff, like a start. Does it mean same?
Well, the reason buckle up is a warning, it's because it means like put on your seatbelt. Something crazy is about to happen. So get in a safe position because you've got to connect your seatbelt and be safe because we're about to do something really crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like prepare
So
yourself for something crazy. Does that make sense?
yeah, means sometimes, yeah, means sometimes teacher also says buckle up, means start for class or something. This means it is the same meaning or not?
Well, I mean, if you said buckle up before you started a class, I would be afraid of that class.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? Why do I have to protect myself from the class? So, I don't know.
No, but
It'd be a pretty scary class.
yes, as I also heard from a Canadian teacher,
Hmm.
and he also use it. Yeah, buckle up.
Buckle up, but that would just be like a warning to prepare yourself because something bad is about to happen, or something scary is about to happen, or some adventure is about to happen.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, all right, so let's take a look at this phrasal verb. Mohammed, can you read the sentence that I have up on the screen? Can you see it?
They called off the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay. All right, Pachu, can you read the sentence? What does it say?
Okay, so they call off the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay.
Means manager was sick, so the meeting was cancelled.
Okay, that's right. How would you pronounce the word called and the word off together?
It's a called off,
Called off.
called off,
Called off. Can you pronounce that, Mohammed? How would
called
you say
off.
that? Called off.
Called off.
Doff. Called off. Because the word that starts with a vowel sound will always take the sound of the word in front of it. Called off. They called
Called
off.
off.
They called off. What do you think
They
about the
called off.
What do you think about the vowel sounds? They called off. Are they big vowel sounds or little vowel sounds? They called off.
Called the long vowel sound.
Call is very long. How about they? They called. They called. Is that big or small?
Small.
Okay. What about off? Off. Is that a big sound?
Small vowel sound. No,
Yeah,
it's small.
I think it is. I think you're right. They called off. They called off. Can you say that phrase again?
They called off.
Pachu, can you say it?
They call,
Go ahead.
They uh, they call
Uh-oh. Pachu is disappearing again. Go try again.
they called off.
They called
They
off.
called off.
Say it
They
again.
called off.
They called off. If I say that
They
really
call.
slowly, if I say that vowel sound really slowly, how many sounds do you hear? Called,
Is a
called.
two.
I think three. Called. Oh. 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 Called. Can you try?
Called.
Co.
Called.
Say co.
Called.
Say co. Co.
Called.
Just say co. Co.
Call. Call.
Say co. Co.
Call. Call.
Say co. Co.
Koa.
Called.
Koa.
Called. Called.
Koa. Koa.
Called.
Koa.
I'm just going to put, I think I'll put 2 words here. Here's number 1. And here's number 2. While we're waiting for that to appear, Mohammed, can you say called? How do you pronounce that word? Called.
Called.
Called. Pachu, can you see the 2 words on the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How do you say number 1?
It's called.
How would you say number 2?
So is it called?
Number 1?
Is it cold?
Number 2?
Is it called? Called.
Mm-hmm. Called. Called. So this is ko u. There is a little here. This is really confusing. Wait, I'm going to make this super small.
Okay. Yeah. Cold.
Cold. And this is
Cold.
like ko u walled, like that.
Okay. Ko u wall.
Called.
Ko wet.
Called. Called. There's like a
Called.
there's like a kiss.
Cold.
There's a kiss in the middle of that. Called. You see how I'm giving a kiss in the middle of that word? Called. Called.
Cold. Cold.
Called.
Called.
Then you have to finish with
Called.
ah. But you have to finish with ah. Called. You have to finish with an ah. Called. That's number 2.
Cold.
Called.
Cold.
Called.
Cold.
Called. Say number 1.
Is it cold?
Cold. Cold. Say number 2.
Is it cold? It's
Cold.
cold.
Mohammed, can you say number 1?
Cold.
Say number 1.
Cold.
Cold. Cold.
Cold.
Cold. Cold. Cold.
Cold.
Cold. How would you say number 2?
Cold.
Number 2.
Cold.
Is that number 2?
Cold. Yes.
Okay.
Cold.
But number 2 ends with ah. Cold. Cold. You have to end with an ah in number 2. Old. Cold.
Cold.
Cold. Say number 1.
Cold.
Cold. Cold.
Cold.
Say number 2.
Cold.
Okay. Can you say they called off the? They called off the.
They called off the.
Okay. They called off the.
They called off the
What is the next word?
meeting.
Meeting. Meeting. Meeting.
Meeting.
The 2 vowel sounds in there, are they big sounds or little sounds? E-I. E-I. E-I.
Meeting. It's a long sound.
Both of them?
The first one is long.
No, the first one is long and the second
Meeting.
one is really small. E-I. E-I.
Yeah.
They called off the meeting.
They called off the meeting.
Pachu, can you say that whole phrase?
Okay. So they called off meeting.
Off the,
called off the
off the,
meeting.
off the, off the. They called off the meeting. They called off the meeting. Again?
They call off the meeting. They
Off.
called off the meeting.
They called off the meeting.
They called off. They called off the meeting.
What is the
They
next
call off
word,
the
Pachu?
meeting. As because.
Because. Because.
Okay. Okay. So sorry. Because.
Not because.
Because.
It's not because. It's because. It's the other way around. Because.
Okay. Okay. So the cause part is get higher.
It's,
Because.
well, it's,
Yeah.
and it's longer. It's longer. It's it because.
You see, because.
Because. So it's not because, but because.
Okay. Because.
Hmm.
Because.
They called off the
Okay.
meeting
Okay. I got it.
because. They called off the meeting
They
because. Go ahead.
they called off the meeting because
Can you say that,
because
Mohammed? Can you say that?
They called off the meeting because
Because. Can you say, how would you add the next word?
they called off the meeting because the manager,
Because the. Because the. Because the.
because the
So you, because we
because
all,
the manager.
yeah, well, we'll worry about manager in a minute, but it's just it's good to have this pattern of big, small, big, small, big, small. And so we have the, which is small, and cause, which is big, and then you have the, which is small, because the. That's a very typical, desirable rhythm in English. Because the. Because the. Can you just say those three sounds together?
Because the
Because the. They called off the meeting because the. Can you say all of those words?
they called off the meeting because they called off the meeting because the
Because the. Because the. Because.
because the
That's hard.
because the
Can you say z, z, z?
the
Can you say, what if you tried this? What if you tried to say zda, zda, zda?
the
Can you try? It's like putting a D, a Z. It's like Z, D, A. Can you pronounce Z, D, and A together? Zda,
the
zda, like a D.
the
Try a D. Z, D, A. How would you pronounce Z, D, A?
the
Zda,
the
da, zda,
the
zda. Because da.
because
Because the manager.
the
Because the manager.
because the manager
Manager. What do you think about the vowel sounds in that word?
manager
Are those
long vowel.
all of them?
The first one on
What about the other two? Are those short or long?
I think short.
Okay. Because the manager. Because the manager.
Manager.
Try to say all three words together. Because the manager.
Manager. Because the manager.
Because the manager. Pancho,
Because the
go ahead.
because the manager.
Because the manager. Try to give a little bit more time to manager. Because the manager.
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 Because
Manager.
Panchu, can you say that? How would you say because the manager?
okay. So because the manager.
They called off.
because the manager.
They called off the meeting because the manager.
They called off the meeting because of the manager.
Because the, not because of the, just because the.
Okay, because the
hmm they called off the meeting because the manager.
they call off the meeting because the manager.
Mohammed, can you say the whole phrase up to manager?
They called off the meeting because the manager
They called off the meeting because the manager. What's the next word?
was
Okay. What do you think about that vowel sound? Is that a big vowel sound or a little vowel sound?
little.
Was. Yeah, it could be. Because the manager was. Yeah, especially in a phrase like that, I think it would be pretty small. Can you say because the manager was? Because the manager was?
Because a manager was because the manager was.
They called off the meeting because the manager was.
They called off the meeting because the manager was.
Pachu, can you say that, the whole phrase?
Okay, so they call off the meeting because the manager was.
hmm And what is that final word at the end of the phrase?
Okay, sick.
Sick. Sick. Is that a big sound or a little sound? Sick.
Is a small.
Yeah, it is. It is small. Because the manager was sick. Because the manager was sick. But I think you have to give that word a lot of.
Because the manager was.
Go ahead.
Okay, so because the manager was sick.
Yeah, because I think you have to give that word a lot of attention. That's kind of an important word in our idea. So even if it's a small word, if it's small sound, sick, you still have to give it
Yes.
extra attention because it's an important word.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives the meaning of whole sentence.
Yeah, so it make it a little bit longer, even though it's a short sound. Sick, sick,
Sick. The sick.
sick, sick. Okay, but
Sick.
this is not
Sick.
a this is you have to push that sound down into your throat. That's not a spitting out sound. That's a pushing down sound. Sick. You should feel that in the back of
Okay.
your throat.
So, okay. So sick. Sick.
Sick. Sounds like you're
Sick.
pushing it forward too much. Push it back. Sick.
The sick.
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 Sick. You
Sick.
have to feel it in your throat, not coming out of your mouth.
Sick.
Sick. Sick. Sick. You have to push back, not forward.
Sick.
Sick. Hmm.
Okay. Sick.
They
Sick.
they called off the
Sick.
meeting because the manager was sick. Can you say everything?
They call up the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay. Mohammed, can you read that whole sentence? What does it say?
They called off the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay. They called off the meeting because the manager was sick. Pachu, could you make a why question? Why call off meeting? How would you make a why question with that sentence?
So why the meeting was called off?
You have to use the question form.
Okay, so why they call? So why they did call the meeting off?
All right. Well, let's start with a sentence. We have a sentence. They called off the meeting, right? How would you make a yes no question with they called off the meeting?
So did they
hmm
call off the meeting?
Now you can now you have your question form. Make a why question. Why?
Okay, so
Mhm.
why did they call off the meeting?
Why did they? Why did so now we've got why, that's an important word. Did, that's not very important here. It's a but they, we can make our big, small, big with that. Why did they? Why did they?
Okay.
That's big, small, big. Why did they?
So why did they? Why did they?
Okay,
Why did they?
is it they or they?
Okay. So why did they?
Why did
Why did they?
why did they? Why did they?
Why did they? Why
Why
did they?
why did they call off the meeting?
Why did they call off the meeting?
Mm-hmm. Mohammed, can you repeat that question? How do you make that question? Why did they?
Why did they?
Uh-huh. Say the whole question.
Uh, why did they call off the meeting?
Okay. Call off. Call off. Call off. Call off.
Why why did they call off the meeting?
Why did they call off the meeting? What is the answer?
Because the manager was sick.
Okay, can you say the entire phrase? Because
They called off the meeting because the manager was sick.
they called off the meeting because the manager was sick. Pachu, can you give the answer?
Okay. So they called off the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay. Manager, manager, manager.
It's a manager. It's a manager.
Manager
Manager.
the manager was.
Because the manager was
Hmm.
sick.
Because the manager was sick. They called off the
Sick.
meeting because the manager was sick.
They called off the meeting because the manager was sick.
Okay.
Sick.
Let's do one more. We'll do one more. Oh, actually, let's do put
Okay.
off since we mentioned it. Okay, so we have call off, which means cancel, and then we have put off, which means postpone. Do you know what that means, Mohammed? Have you seen put off before or postpone? Do you know those words?
Yeah.